We hope you're wearing waterproof mascara. Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Disney moments that made us ugly cry.
They took something that you loved. It's gone. Forever.
Sadness. Don't make him feel worse.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at the most devastating moments to ever happen in animated Disney movies. Obviously, a spoiler alert is in order.
People always do crazy things when they're in love.
Number 10. Grandma Tala's death, Moana.
Grandma.
Moana's relationship with her grandmother is a close one, but considering Tala's advanced age, it doesn't come as a huge surprise when Moana loses her during the story. Moana isn't present for the bitter end, and watching her light go out from afar is almost sadder. Luckily, Grandmother Tala is reincarnated as a manta ray, who helps our heroine begin her journey.
See her glide with the night in the sea, she calls me.
Surprisingly enough, Moana's grandmother wasn't a character in the first iterations of the movie's storyboard. The figure was later added by one of the writers, giving the film an extra emotional punch.
There is no way you could go that I won't be with you.
Number 9. Sully Says Goodbye, Monsters, Inc.
You mean I can't see her again?
When Boo enters the world of Monstropolis, the audience knows that she'll eventually have to return home. But no one could anticipate just how heartbreaking it would be when she finally does. The relationship she forms with Sully and Mike is a sweet one, so their farewell is inevitably poignant. When Kitty tucks her into bed and says his goodbyes, we tear up just as much as he does. It's made all the sadder by the fact that Boo doesn't understand what's going on.
Goodbye, Boo.
Kitty.
Kitty has to go.
Seeing her run to open the closet once he's gone is probably the saddest moment of all.
Boo. Kitty.
Number 8. Wally Almost Dies, Wally.
Wally.
After seeing their relationship unfold with human-like tenderness, watching Wally and Eve say goodbye is almost too much to handle. For a scene with almost no dialogue and no real people involved, it's surprising how touching the moment is. Thankfully, this isn't the end for our favorite little robot, as Wally is brought back to life. However, the moment that follows is possibly even sadder, as Wally appears to have lost his memory and can't remember Eve or anything else from his past. Fortunately, it doesn't take more than a kiss to spark his memory.
Eve? Wally.
Number 7. Todd Being Left in the Woods, The Fox and the Hound.
Goodbye may seem forever, farewell is like the end.
If we were ranking the overall saddest Disney movies, this one would easily be a contender. There are countless moments that left us with tears in our eyes, but this one stands out as the most heartbreaking. After their encounters with Amos and Chief, Widow feels like she has to let Todd free in order to keep him safe.
Such a short time ago, you looked at me, needing me so.
His lack of understanding as she drives him into the forest and eventually leaves him there is tough to watch. What's possibly even more devastating is the knowledge that Todd is never able to go back to live with her and spends the rest of his life in the woods. Number 6. Baby Mine, Dumbo. There are several tear-jerking moments in this classic 1941 animated film, but by far the saddest is when Dumbo goes to visit his mother in her cell and she rocks him to sleep with a mournful lullaby.
You're so sweet, goodness no, baby.
Her imprisonment begins when she's defending her baby from being bullied by a bunch of boys who are making fun of his comically large ears. Dumbo is so distraught after this emotional reunion, and viewers feel his sadness just as much. No matter how old you are, this Oscar-nominated song is sure to get the waterworks going. Number 5. Bing Bong, Inside Out.
We might as well be on another planet.
Like many other Disney films, Inside Out largely revolves around childhood nostalgia. The movie is all about emotions, so there are plenty of opportunities for heartache. But the story of Bing Bong outdoes the rest. Bing Bong is Riley's imaginary friend from when she was younger, and throughout the film we see him beginning to fade from her memory and struggling to stay with her. Finally though, he accepts his fate and lets go so Riley can grow up, leaving audiences remembering their own youthful imaginary pals.
Take her to the moon for me. Okay?
Number 4. Bambi's mom dying. Bambi.
Faster! Faster, Bambi!
By now we've come to know that the death of a main character's parents is a mainstay for Disney's animated movies. But back in 1942, children were probably shocked by the brutal demise of Bambi's mother. Even today it's hard to watch, despite the fact that it happens off-screen. Since this is a movie that's shown to children at a young age, it's often one of the first films they see where a character doesn't come back to life. It's a scene that doesn't pull punches, forcing us to accept the cruelty of life and death.
Your mother can't be with you anymore.
Number 3. Ellie and Carl's Tale. Up. No one went into Up knowing that they would be bawling their eyes out in the first 10 minutes. But that's what happened to theater goers everywhere. Before getting into the movie's main story, we're shown how Carl ended up living alone in his little house surrounded by high-rises. The love story that's told in the movie's intro is so simple and so tragic. The feelings are only compounded by the fact that we're totally blindsided by Ellie's death. Number 2. Andy saying goodbye to his toys. Toy Story 3.
I have some toys here.
There are many emotional moments in this movie, like when it seems that the toys are going to be incinerated. However, it's the grand finale that really gets the tears going. After all the adventures they've had together, Andy has to say goodbye to his toys. If you're someone who gets especially nostalgic, this scene will turn you into a wreck.
Now, you gotta promise to take good care of these guys. They mean a lot to me.
Seeing Andy play with Woody, Buzz, and the rest of the gang one final time is bittersweet. And there isn't a dry eye in the room when he finally drives off.
So long, partner.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
There's no one I'd rather be than me.
There. It's okay, Daddy's here. Daddy's got you. I promise.
Number 1. Mufasa's death. The Lion King. There's no debate that our number 1 moment has to be the death of Simba's father in The Lion King. Every part of the scene is horrific, as Simba watches his dad get trampled by wildebeest. Although Mufasa tries clawing his way to safety, the villainous Scar ultimately throws him into the gorge.
Long live the king.
Discovering his father's body, Simba is unable to understand why Mufasa won't wake up at first. However, it doesn't take long for him to accept the tragedy he's witnessed. No matter how familiar you are with the scene, watching Simba snuggle his way under Mufasa's paw will get you choked up every time. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Ms. Mojo and subscribe for new videos every day.